Hi, I'm Nick, the product owner of Data Protection and Security Toolkit here at Actonic. I want to discuss the data cleaner for Confluence for data center. With this module, you can find and anonymize any piece of content there is in your Confluence instance. To do that, we can start by creating a custom template, and the button is located right here on the dashboard page of the data cleaner. With the configuration, we can start with naming our template. It can be any name, which is for internal use. For example, we can say it is remove PII. The next, we should include the SQL, or we can pick spaces by space pickers. And in this case, we can pick any spaces which are already archived, so we cannot use SQL in that case. But for example, we have a lot of spaces and we do not want to handpick them one by one with our space picker. We can do it with select all spaces, and it will select every single space there is in our Confluence instance. We can also use contributors filter, labels filter, start date, end date, and date range by created or last modifier. And we also have SQL. With SQL, we can define the scope as we like. And by pickers, as I said, we can also pick the archived spaces in our Confluence. So we can save it. We can say that, hey, we are looking for information in any space there is in our instance. The next is objects. In the objects menu, we can choose any object there is. For example, it can be a text type like title, content, body, comment, or user type, content creator or updater, comment author, or attachment author. So we can, for example, look for the information in the content body. The next step is to define what we are actually looking for in our instance. We can create our own rule, or we can add rules from our built-in rules library. So for example, we have a lot of rules. All are based on the regular expression, and they are based on the pattern. So for example, if you are looking for credit card numbers and we do not want to look for a specific credit card number, we can use this built-in rule. We can click the add selected rules button, and you can see the regular expression that it is looking for any kind of credit card number there is in the instance, or it can be any other type of the information. And we can also define how to replace the information. To create our own rule, we should click on this button, create new rule. We should name our rule. It can be my rule, for example, and we're defining what we are looking for. The first option is plain text. So we can search for any specific information there is in the instance, and we can define it as a plain text. Or we can use a regular expression, and we can define any kind of pattern-based information or data there is. We can also search for user with any user data, and we can choose like user A, for example. This can be Atlassian, or we can choose user B, which can be admin, which can be a system user. So everything related to Atlassian based on our scope will be replaced with admin system user. Or we can choose any user. It means that every single user in the Confluence instance will be replaced with admin, in this case a system user. So all the user data will be lost, it will be archived. So if you're looking to archive your Confluence and you do not want to mention any users in your documentations, in your spaces, in your blogs, in your posts, you can use this function and you can anonymize the whole instance with just one rule. So right now, let's leave the standard credit card numbers. Let's define how to replace the credit card numbers. As I said, if you go in the create new rule section, and for example, I'm naming it my rule, I'm choosing regular expression, I'm choosing this regular expression. The next step is I'm choosing how to replace this information. For example, I found a credit card number and I want to just not replace it. I just want to find where the credit card number is located. Maybe I just want to replace it with empty string. It means that this whole credit card number will be just removed from the instance. The next is plain text. So I can replace the credit card number with any text I want. The next one is hashtag symbol. So any information I will find with my rule will be replaced with 3 hashtags, or it can be replaced with the hashtags based on the character length. So in case of credit card number, it will be 16 hashtags. So the next step is post functions. So where we can apply more functions where we find information. So at first we are naming our function. It can be my function or any name we want. Next we are choosing which rule we want to work with. For example, start credit card numbers. We have only one rule in this case, or we can use the checkbox and it will be applied to any rule there is. The next one is post function type. So post function can be add comment to the blog page or the blog post. It can be to add a label to the page or a blog post, and it can be send email notification to. And we can send email notifications to last updater or watcher, and we can define our subject, we can define our message, and we also have variables in our email like creator, modifier, page ID, and etc. It all can be used with the rules. The next step is total results post functions. It means that we can send reporting information to a specific emails, which means that they will get information about template's work, if it was successful, and any other additional information there is, and we can print to Atlassian Confluence log. The next step is the scheduling step. We can enable the scheduling, which means that this template will be running, for example, in this case at 1 a.m. every single day, and it will execute only search run or only anonymization run. It means that at first we can just look for the information every single day and apply any kind of post function like adding comments to the pages, or we can apply anonymization, which means that information will be fully removed from the instance. And we can save our data cleaner template, and we can go back to the dashboard, and we can see that, hey, the new template is already created. And if we want to see the statistics of the template, we can click on the status right here, for example, one of the ways to see it, and you can see all the history logs of the template. So template can be run 1 time, 2 times, like 10 times, depending to your configuration and depending to your preferences. So for example, we have the search finished. It means that it was a search run at the first when this template was running, and we were looking for the box.com links, and we found one. But the next run was the anonymization run. In this case, when we are already running the anonymization of the content, we cannot see the affected content. It means that we cannot see what we found and what was anonymized. So we were looking for the box links, we found that link, and we anonymized that link, and the status was anonymized. It means that we are no longer able to see it in the affected contents also. So this is how our data cleaner for Confluence works. Thank you for your time.